Thank you for that enjoyable rendition of the anthem. Could I please remain standing for Reuben Tully of Year 12 to give the welcome to country.
Just while I have the chance, I'd like to take this time to thank our great school for giving me the privilege throughout the last 4 years to come up here in our assemblies and do the welcome to country. On behalf of the Kamilaroi Nation, I'd like to welcome you all to our country, both young and old.
Thank you, Reuben. Please be seated. Good morning, Year 12. You've made it. Your final day at Inverell High. We are honoured to be here with you today and celebrate your graduation. Today marks a significant stage in your life, and it is a privilege to be with you under the current circumstances. Over the years, we have grown to be quite close with each other, creating strong friendships and memories that'll last a lifetime. On behalf of Year 11, we will look back fondly on the times we have spent beside you on the sporting field, on the stage, or simply with and around you at school. It'll be sad to see you guys go, but we know that you'll make the best of what lies ahead.
It's admirable that you've come out unscathed despite all the challenges you've faced this year. Your resilience and patience through uncertain times has certainly paid off, and for that we congratulate you. We've been lucky to be in the year below you, observing and often learning what not to do. From you, we have learned valuable lessons on how to get through school while having a good time. You've brought such a positive and lively energy to the school, and it will surely be missed. We hope all of you make the most of your final moments at Inverell High, and we wish you good luck on your future endeavours. So again, on behalf of the student body, thank you and goodbye. We will now celebrate 13 years of formal education with a presentation of their key milestones, kindergarten, Year 7 and Year 12.
Thank you for that. Mr. Lyle and Miss Marshall will now give their year advisor address.
Thanks, Eloise. Students of Year 12, staff and students of Inverell High, parents, carers, friends and family who cannot be physically with us today but have joined our ceremony remotely, we welcome you. Broadcasting to a live audience is quite daunting, so wanting to be prepared, I did what most people do in this day and age. I Googled it. That wasn't very successful. Then I decided to ask Siri, and I ended up with a whole heap of cliches, metaphors, something about a turtle having to stick its neck out and not hide in your shell. That wasn't successful either. Then I asked Alexa. I ended up with a random statement about why maths teachers make good dancers. Apparently they have good algorithm. At that point, I gave up. I decided to have a go myself. And as Year 12 will tell you, I have given many inspiring speeches over the past 6 years. Most of them have involved uniform, positives and negatives, not fidgeting in assembly, especially during the national anthem, setting the standard, raising the bar, why we need to wear deodorant, the difference between deodorant and body spray, and more recently, we will graduate, it will be unique, we will do it our way, and we will not let COVID define us. Firstly, I'd like to thank Mr. Jason Lyle for asking me to join him as year advisor for this amazing group. I did warn him, however, that I don't do things by halves and I'm a slight control freak. But seriously, this has been one of the most rewarding roles I've had in my teaching career and I'm honoured to have shared it with you. Thanks, Jess. To the parents and carers of our kids, this is not how we wanted to join you for a farewell. We have always tried to do our best, and every decision we have had to make, we have always tried to have the interest of the kids at the forefront. This year, more than most, has thrown us some curveballs, and we have had a hard time chasing a moving target. Thank you for choosing us to support your children through some of the toughest and most challenging years of their lives. We have had to make some difficult decisions throughout the 6 years, and we thank you for the support and trust that you have placed in us. This was particularly evident when Jason and I attempted to phone every one of you earlier in the year, and we were overwhelmed by the support we received from you during this time. A big thank you to Jamie from the canteen, who has arranged a small gift for the students to bring home today to share with you. To all of the staff of Inverell High, we thank you for all that you have done for our kids since their arrival in 2015. In Year 7, thank you for the warm welcome you gave to the 117 smiling but nervous faces that arrived on day one. In Years 8 and 9, thank you for your patience and persevering with them in what are typically some of the most challenging years of high school. In Year 10, I want to thank you for the care and compassion that you showed our kids through a particularly difficult year, where the passing of Hayden's mum and our brother Malik affected us all greatly. This continued in Year 11 with the loss of the much loved and respected roll call teacher and science teacher, Mrs. McGelly. In Year 11, we welcomed a group of new arrivals, and we thank you for the support you offered them as they transitioned into senior school and merged into the amazing group they are today. In Year 12, we thank you for supporting our kids through the challenges of online learning, preparing them for the upcoming HSC and helping them to adjust to the new normal. To Penny, thank you for the support you have offered to Jason and I throughout the 6 years. You have been the sounding board and a pillar of strength for both of us. In regard to our Year 12 charity, we have faced many obstacles that have prevented the usual fundraising opportunities. However, the funds you have raised for the breast cancer support group will make the difference to the lives of many Inverell families. We were fortunate to hear from Cola this week to tell of her experiences as a 26-year-old breast cancer survivor. I was so proud of the way you all conducted yourselves and the selflessness that you showed in donating your own money to help her out. Thank you so much, and the efforts you have made a huge difference in her life. I would like to remind you of one of the key messages she shared with us, as I believe it has relevance today. Year 12, don't sweat the small stuff. Unfortunately, we get caught up in our own busy lives, and it's not until we're faced with a major event, such as cancer, that our priorities are challenged and we realise exactly what is important in life. Jason and I made a decision not to mention individual students in our speech. We thought that if we mention one, then we need to mention all. And after 6 years, there certainly are some stories to tell. The only exception to this, however, is Oric. I have a permanent reminder of Oric and that fateful day in Year 8 PE where Oric broke 2 of my fingers. I now have a pin and 1 less bone as a permanent reminder of our game of kick tennis. Thank you, Oric. We have an amazing and exceptionally talented group of students. We have the sporting stars, our very own tackling machine, musicians, musical performers. We have diligent and conscientious academics, artists, tradies. We have the caring and compassionate, the class clowns. We have the activists and the advocates. We also have the lads and the larrikins. But mostly what we have is a wonderful group of truly unique young people who we are both incredibly proud of. Year 12, as my final remarks, I have made a list of what I wish for you. I hope that in the most important and memorable moments in your lives, you put your phones away. You see what is happening through your own eyes and not through a lens, as it is the feelings and emotions of these moments that stay with you for a lifetime. I want you to understand that people will forget what you said and what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. I hope that you experience real love, the love that makes your heart skip a beat. I hope you find a career that makes you happy and that you don't get caught up in making a living that you forget to live your own lives. I hope you think of all the reasons you can instead of all the reasons you can't. I hope you realise in school we give you the lesson and then the test, but in real life you get the test and then the lesson. I hope you don't put the key to your happiness in someone else's pocket, and I hope that you remember it's not about the type or how many houses you own, because it's the people that are in your house that make it a home. I hope you realise it's not about how others see you, it's about how you see yourselves that matters the most. And finally, apart from the formal that we are now allowed to have, I really hope this is the last time that we come together for a farewell. Year 12, you have made it. Congratulations. And I want to thank you for the love, the laughs, the memories and the friendship.
Thank you, Mrs. Marshall, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Naomi for all of the help and all of the hard work that she's put into this role over the last 6 years, so thank you. Good morning, Year 12. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of you, Year 12, who I've come to know over the last 6 years of your school life here at Inverell High School. Some of you I've known since the day you were born. So to see you here before me fills me with a great deal of pride. When I initially agreed to be Year Advisor, I knew I had a responsibility to be available to help every one of you. The best way for me to ensure that at some stage I had was at some stage I have the pleasure of having a conversation with you. For a lot of you, I first met you on your Year 6 Ross Hill excursion, Canberra. Even then, I could immediately see the characters in the group and thought to myself, what have I got myself in for? Since then, I've prided myself in the fact that I've got to know every one of you in some way and have had at some time a conversation with you about your weekend, your goals, your dreams for the future. I think it's as simple as asking, how's your day been? And going on from there. I've learnt so much about you and have been pleasantly amazed by the conversations that I've had. Over the last 6 years, these conversations have changed a lot to now. On the 29th of January 2008, you attended your first day of your school life. On this day in Inverell, it was 26 degrees with a chance of shower. In the news, on that day, there was massive flooding in Queensland, which cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Foreign Minister Stephen Smith announced all Australian troops will be withdrawing from Iraq. The Kennedy family in the US gives its endorsement for Barack Obama to run for president. And the Parramatta Eels prepare for another disappointing NRL season. And here we are, 13 years later, at the finish line. Your first day of high school was on the 28th of January 2015. On this day, the Inverell Shire Council met to vote and pass the Town Beautification Program and removal of the plane trees from Byron and Otho Street. Tony Abbott was Prime Minister and was deflecting bad media due to his captain's call on knighthoods. The Socceroos win through to the Asia Cup final, and Parramatta Eels prepare for another disappointing NRL season. Year 12 2020, you are a cohort that is groundbreaking. You are one of the first group of students to learn via the Jolly Phonics program in primary school. Again, you are one of the first cohort to trial the Reading to Learn program in primary school. You have been the first cohort to do every NAPLAN exam since its inception. You are the first cohort to have HSC minimum standards testing. You are the first cohort in Year 7 to have an actual fire emergency which burnt down the industrial arts block. You are the first full preliminary HSC cohort to have a security fence around the school. And you are the first cohort to have a pandemic-affected HSC. The majority of these first obs have been and gone, and unbeknownst to you, have left a lesson which will stick with you for life. Each of these incidents could have thrown you off course, but you are here today as a result of your willingness to take adversity head on. Adversity is a term that gets thrown around, but I feel as though you have known it throughout your school life, your whole school life, as you are a group who seems to be the one that has had to deal with the most change. You will continue to have adversity in one form or another throughout your entire life. And in these formative years at Inverell High School, hopefully they would have taught you that yes, you will have had hard times. They will be difficult. However, that is just part of life. Get on with it. There is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance the next time. As you head into the final weeks of your HSC, be proactive in how you approach it. There is still plenty of work to be done. With all of the change that has occurred throughout your school life, I feel that Inverell High School has prepared you well for whatever challenge life throws at you. It has been a pleasure to know you all and to see you develop into adults. As you go, please remember that your education is a lifelong journey and doesn't finish when you walk out of the gates here today. As you join the workforce and your community, please look fondly on your time here, and I hope that as a result, you will achieve all of those dreams that you've talked about. And remember that wherever you end up in life, contendo procedere, strive to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lyle and Miss Marshall. Billy Tyne, one of our very talented Year 12 musicians, will now perform his HSC music piece, Angry Young Man by Billy Joel. He's accompanied by Year 11 students Brock Holder and Sam Flood, and fellow Year 12 students Harry Fraser and Dusty Wilkes.
and Year 12. That was awesome. The year 2019-2020 school captains will now address the assembly.
We'd firstly like to thank everyone that is here with us today to celebrate the class of 2020, completing 13 long years of schooling. We've made it. Of course, we all wish we could celebrate in better circumstances and with all the people we love. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and we are grateful to be at least sharing it with such a wonderful group of people. So thank you to everyone for doing their best to make today special.
Before we begin exposing ourselves, there are a few things we'd like to say. To address the elephant in the room, and yes, an elephant could fit right now, because there's hardly anyone in the room. 2020, the year we'll never forget, although I'm sure some of us would like to. I think we can all agree that this has been one of the toughest years, probably in history, and not just for us as students, but for our teachers, parents, siblings, other loved ones, and for the rest of the world. But we've gotten through it, barely. But seriously, everyone in this room and outside for that matter should be so incredibly proud of their efforts this year. I am personally so proud to be a part of a group that has and is still conquering such a tough and unpredictable year. This will only make us stronger, and I'm so proud of everyone for getting here and pushing through. It's been so incredibly tough, even though on many occasions it's been so easy to be pessimistic and sad and unmotivated and uninspired and stressed and hopeless. We've all proven that if we can get through this, we can get through anything. So in short, the graduating class of 2020 is tough as hell. Congratulations to all of us.
Now for words of gratitude. Nothing we could say or express will ever measure up to how much these people have done for us. Their sacrifice, hard work, patience, care, generosity, compassion, empathy, and love are why we are here today and have gotten through the last 13 years and more. So on behalf of Year 12, to our parents, thank you for being our #1 supporters. You've been with us from the very start and continue to love us unconditionally. This year, especially with turbulent, hormonal, stress to the core teenagers completing their final year of school, would have been extremely tough, especially with all the other responsibilities you have to worry about. We sincerely apologise for all the times we've been too much and caused you more stress than what we feel. For being rowdy, impulsive, irrational and chaotic at times, for all the bad decisions and times we've hurt you. You've stood by us like no one else. We don't know how you do it, but we love you. More than you'll ever know and what we could ever express. It might be hard to believe, but it's true.
We are so grateful for you and we couldn't thank you enough. We wish more than anything that you could be in the room with us celebrating. To our teachers and staff of Inverell High, thank you. We can't imagine how tough it must be for all of you too, but we couldn't have made it here without all of your hard work, support and dedication. Thank you for not only being our mentors, but our friends too.
But in particular, thank you to Mrs. Marshall and Mr. Lyle. You've supported us since we were scared little Year 7 kids who couldn't manage to find their way around or remember what books we had to pack each day. And also while we're Year 12 kids still trying to rule the school. But honestly, we could not have made it this far without you, and we appreciate everything you've done for us more than you could know.
Thank you for making this graduation the best it could be, despite the challenges that have been thrown our way. It couldn't have been easy.
So moving on, we feel as though we've made it pretty far since 2008 on our first day of kindy, although some of us may not currently feel the same level of excitement towards attending school each and every day. We'd like to share with you all some lessons that we have learned over the years. Okay. Apparently you're supposed to start your assignments with little more than 12 hours notice before it's due. Driving is hard and requires skill and concentration. Never mess with Kiara. I probably shouldn't ride bikes. Jeb will always be there to save the day, but never trust him if he's giving you food. Sometimes work is more important than finishing school. Occasionally you have to represent yourself in court. Pretty sure Dom has made the highest contribution to society through fines being paid. Miss Marshall didn't really need to be able to use her fingers, but I definitely don't think she'd be recommend playing catch with Oric. She always knew karma would get him back though.
But on a more serious note, we've all learnt that often life is short. During our time at Inverell High, we've lost two amazing people that had a significant impact on all of us. And we all felt that loss deeply, and I'm sure we all now love a little more fiercely. And finally, we would like to thank everyone that we spent the whole of our schooling life with. Thank you for all the memories, the friendships, and the good time. We honestly could not have asked for a better bunch of people to laugh and cry with, and we were so grateful to be able to have made it this far with you all. We wish each and every one of you the best luck with the HSC, and remember that one single mark does not define you, who you are, or your future. You are also much more than that. And as we move on to the next chapter of our lives, I hope that it is nothing short of amazing. Congratulations to you all. You all deserve one hell of a celebration.
Thank you, Hannah, Oric, Dusty, and Bella. Hannah Huen and Harry Fraser, another two of our talented musicians, will now present a musical piece, The Climb.
Thank you, Hannah and Harry, for your enjoyable and entertaining performance. That was incredible. I'd like to invite Mr. Lyle and Mrs. Marshall to present Year 12 with their graduation portfolios.
I'd like to take this opportunity just to thank Year 12 for their accomplishments over the last 6 years. It has been a pleasure watching these children grow into young adults, and I'd like to wish them all the best in their future endeavours. So for the last time, class of 2020. Piaget, Bo. Jade Anderson. Tyler Berkeley. Emily Burt. Ben Butler. Joshua Cashin. Jebediah Kavanagh. Abby Childs. Luana Cognignoli. Cohen Craigie. Alexandra Croft. Susanna Dawson. Chloe Doran. Jackson Ellis. Harrison Frazier. Angus Friend. Kai Garrett. Chelsea Hadley. Ashley Halloran. Jessica Hotters. Hannah On, Brody Irwin, Jalen Gerard, Ella Johnson, Emily Johnson, Jordan Kent, McKeely Kent, Harrison King, Jennifer Knight, Shayna Lease, April Lindsay Constable, Ben Lombo, Georgia Lyle, Rebecca Mabry, Imogen McDonald, Caitlin McKinnon, Breeze Melia, Keegan Mary, Jackson Moyer, Ricky Muggleton, Riley Murray, Tanya Nasty, Moises Navarro, Lane Newbury. Travis Norman. Brianna Provis. Isabel Regan. Nathaniel Robertson. Lily Roma. Carla Rutherford. Crystal Ryder. Tyler Sanderson. Galen Shoemaker. Kiara Seagrove. Sienna Smith. Nicholas Sorensen. Mitchell Stewart. Ella Taylor. Ruben Tully. Billy Tyne. Dominic Wales. Sean Walters. Amelia West Green. Braden White. Georgia Wilkinson. Dustin Wilkes. Jaden Williamson. Arik Yule. Bella Yeoman. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Congratulations, Year 12. Ms. Colley will now present the Principal's address.
Well, Year 12, this marks 13 years of schooling for you. And each year, Year 12 make comments about they're going to be the year that has a unique Year 12 farewell and that they're going to do something special for us to remember by. Guess what? You have. This year, Year 12, you've finally made us remember a year group that we'll never forget for a very long time. You've been the first year to study virtually. You've been the first year for our assembly to be streamed virtually and to have to socially distance in here. You will definitely be remembered, and you will remember this as one of the most interesting times of our lives. Through this experience, you have demonstrated outstanding perseverance in very testing times, and that each and every one of you have demonstrated here today. Well done. Thank you to Jason Lyle and Naomi Marshall as your year advisor. In particular, they have been advocates supporting you through the difficult times and ensuring that you have the most opportunities and the best opportunities available to you. To the parents and caregivers of Year 12, congratulations. The fine young men and women who sit before me today are a testament to the ongoing love and support that you provide. Year 12, with each goal you reach opens out into a wider horizons, new and undiscovered opportunities for you to explore. The success you have demonstrated academically through your sport and cultural activities highlight how to date you have made the most of the opportunities provided to you throughout your schooling. Thank you for the leadership that has been provided over the past 12 months, particularly with Arik, Hannah, Bella and Dusty, this year's school captains, as well as the SRC executive. It's been a pleasure to watch you as your leadership skills develop. The SRC this year, for those of you who don't know, are contributing to new goalposts in the basketball courts. And the senior basketballers, can I point out, were the only team that actually got to go and represent Inverell High School this year, so well done. As a group, you have raised approximately $3,000 for the local Breast Cancer Council. This is extraordinary in the light of the year that we have had. Well done, and I know that it will be greatly appreciated and used by local women. This has definitely been a team effort, including the 5 boys that even I helped cut some wood for. At this stage, I would normally point out the outstanding achievements that you've made throughout Year 12 in the sporting and academic arena. I do know the huge amount of work that many of you put into the rehearsals for the school musical, and we are all disappointed that this was the first major item on the calendar for this year that was cancelled. And I think that anyone that has listened to you play today would understand just how outstanding that musical would have been if we'd been able to go through with it. I would like to call to stage at the moment, though, Imogen McDonald and Hannah Hume. Yep, you've got to come up. The two girls are obviously unaware that they were successful in Imogen. The school, I wish you all the best for your future endeavours. I hope you enjoy life's journey and your dreams come true. To the parents and caregivers, this concludes the formal part of the assembly. I hope that you have been able to access the live stream and we will have photos of today's assembly available. Year 12, if you would like to make your way out to the front of the school for our annual releasing of the balloons. Congratulations, great work.